back to Different Style Whites.
Yes!
The podcast where we never introduce ourselves. So I'm Avi and John is John.
I'm Avi, and
Yeah.
this is Jom.
Yep. And we're the Different Style Whites, and we talk about different style fights, and we are an oasis in the desert of wrestling discourse.
Yes.
We're the North Star for
Ooh.
fans of choreographed violence.
You want to see some guys throw some punches?
Yeah. Lovers of beauty.
We do see a lot of beautiful things. There's a lot of beautiful things to be found in today's episode, especially.
So that's us. That was such a good introduction. Now we can not do that again for like a month.
Say, we have a good 7 episodes before we have to say our names again. So
and we you mentioned at the end of last week pretty much exactly what we're doing, and we found some really cool shit. So remind the people.
Of course. So last week we talked about an awesome rivalry from the sleazy Japan scene, the CMA guys battling it out, and after that we talked about, you know, we're sticking around in Japan a bit, and there was a little bit of debate about exiting Japan as part of this episode, but in the end, the 3 matches we landed on were still within the beautiful land of Nippon. We are talking about some deathmatch different style fighting, and to clarify right off the bat, I would say only one of these matches is a through and through death match. But
and different style fight.
Yes,
it's the same match.
I was gonna say that is the one match that is very clearly both. However, I would say all 3 of these matches certainly are within the scope of death matching. It's maybe more hardcore than anything, but it's certainly the rules are broken. But they also totally fall in line with our idea of different style. We are looking at 3 different matches from 3 very different periods of Japan. The last 2 we'll talk about are a little bit closer, but I would actually argue that there's a world of difference between those 2 little segments in time. And I think that there's a lot of interesting stuff going on that's leading into everything that we're talking about, that's going on after it. We're going to go over some of that, of course, but the main focus will be on these awesome different style fights. And I believe we are actually going to be going backwards this time because
reverse chronological order.
Because that's what feels right, and you'll get it when we do it.
Yes, we're starting in 2009.
The year of our Lord.
Yes. September the 5th. Chon Shiryu versus Masashi Takeda in a no-rules match.
God.
Yep, from a Kishindo show.
Yeah. Fucking shout out to Kishindo.
Yep.
I don't know if we're ever going to find another chance to talk about this, because they really wasn't really much going on in the shows that would fit into the realm of... Well, okay, so not much going on that would fit into the realm of different style fighting, besides the fact that there was this kickboxer named Yoki who would open up a lot of the shows in, like, shoot fights. And some of those were marketed as different style fights. I think all of them were shoots, so I don't know if we'd ever end up talking about them, but that is the one real hint of different styling in most of the Kishindo world. Except for this match, where we were talking about, as you said, Chon Shiryu versus Masashi Takeda. No rules match. This show in general is fucking awesome. I don't know if you've seen the full show before, Avi, but it's a treat.
Yeah, I've tried to watch all of these that I can find. I love Kishindo stuff.
It's so good. This one has awesome main event of Mineo Fujita and Masato Tanaka against Kenny Omega and Yuko Miyamoto, which is a lot of fun. Very fun little mid-card match between 2 super underrated guys, Yasu Urano and Madoka. And probably most notably, Gentaro versus Munenori Sawa. This is not the Kishindo match they had. This is the first one they had that kind of set that up. And it is a treat. Uh, but this whole card is just stacked. And it starts with Chon Shiryu coming out for this no rules match. And I would argue this is spiritually almost a successor to the Come As You Are match because these
Uh,
guys are
so
totally
much.
in tune.
It's like if we did a fantasy draft and we booked these two guys in the Come As You Are match. And I'm so glad we're getting to talk about this because this is the reason that I was like, okay, maybe Ganasuke's got something cooking over there. I need to to
Yeah.
find and watch these because I stumbled upon this. It was an accidental thing, which is as we talk about it, you'll see why it blew my mind in multiple ways.
Yes.
And he comes out carrying the wok and the pole
Yes.
to the theme of Police Story, which is so
Yes.
fucking amazing.
He comes out. Sean Shiryu comes out. He has the bow staff over one shoulder. He's got the wok hanging on a string hanging off of the bow staff. And he's got the gourd with the fucking alcohol in it. He's getting drunked up, getting in this ring. He is bringing his own arsenal of weapons for this no rules match. And it's a good thing he did because Masashi Takeda is also bringing his own arsenal of weapons for this match.
He stopped by the foreign object store
He
on
did.
his way, and he even grabbed some of their trash out of their
He
trash can.
did.
He was running late,
He was like rushing through the store, supermarket sweep style.
and I of course I would assume everybody knows Takeda. I would also assume most people listening to this know Chon Shiryu, but
I will say
um,
he's kind of. I feel like if there's anyone in our sphere who is very close to breaking out of it, I think Sean Shiryu is pretty much like right on the edge because I think everyone who would listen to this podcast and a lot of people just in this general deeper Japan like knowledge base, we all know who Chon Shiryu is. We all like him. If you don't, you are one of the few. And I've said it before. I think within like by the end of 2030, we're probably going to see at least one Sean Shiryu match completely escape containment. I'm kind of shocked it's taken this long because a few of them have gotten very close. Uh, but Sean Shiryu is a fucking blast. He is like pure kung fu in the Japanese wrestling world, and it works. It works so well.
yeah, but he is more Jackie Chan than Bruce Lee, which is why I think
Yes,
the theme that he has used everywhere is so perfect. But I love it every time
I was
when he
gonna.
comes out.
Yeah,
He's got a very singular thing going on, and he does it. We'll talk about it as we go, but he does a lot of not stunts, but like kung fu spots that feel very natural and fun. But yeah, he's not one of the FMW Koreans
no, that I'm glad that you clarified that
or
because
even Okensho.
Chon Shiryu feels a lot more movie than like anything else. He is basically just doing like movie kung fu rather than like actual martial arts, which is awesome. Like
Yeah, it rocks.
I love
He's really
fucking
good
kung
at
fu
it.
movies. I just got a friend of mine just gave me a login to the Arrow player, and I'm gonna spend like my entire weekend probably watching fucking oh god, what's it called? The production company. I watch like all the Venom Mob shit, but like
Yep.
all the kung fu films. Uh, just this is my shit. So when I get to watch Sean Shiryu and see him basically do that to like everyone in the scene, especially a guy like Takeda, who is probably one of the best guys I could have matched him against as a fellow like crossover guy since he's coming in from the shoot fighting world. Um, it just works so well. And also Takeda in 2009 is probably one of the best wrestlers in the world. So
Yeah, he's so good here. Their brains mesh really well. Uh, their ideas mesh really well, and
yes.
they both like to keep it moving. Uh, it's this is just a really fun might diminish like the amount of lunacy in the match, but
Yeah.
it is fun.
It feels weird to just because you don't want to just chalk it up to fun because there's so much more to say about it besides just it's fun. But also, this is a 9-minute match where they use bow staffs and walks and miscellaneous foreign objects and hit like awesome spots, and it keeps moving, moving, moving. And it's hard to explain it besides saying that it's just an incredibly fun match. Like it never it at no point does it feel like it is wasting your time or wasting your attention. Like
And they
it's
both,
got you and it's got you good.
yeah, and they both know, you know, exactly who they are, and they very smartly build it as kind of like a. I mean, it does feel a little like a different style fight. Like there's a speed versus power element going on. Like Chon's going
Yeah.
out to get caught. He's got to throw 7 strikes to Takeda's 1. Um, but they do. They really fucking keep. And that's pretty much how it starts. He starts landing these crazy like kung fu palm strikes, and
Yes.
then just eats an elbow and dies.
Eats a crazy fucking elbow and like yeah, it completely is like out of it. Um he is so tricky because I think the big thing with Chon is that he is such a nifty little fucker. He is finding ways that nobody has ever even thought of before to land shots. So it's all about Takeda like trying to brute force him with like full on no nonsense violence, like these crazy running knees and elbows to the face and these huge slams. And then Sean is trying to find these weird angles and little holes in Takeda's game to like exploit. Like he gets on the apron and completely like kills Takeda with like this big leg trip that sends him like back first on the apron. And
Does
then
the Xbox sweep?
yes, he does do the Xbox sweep. And then he follows it up with weirdly, I don't know if I'd say this is the best spot of the match because it feels weird because it's so early, but also
When
this
I
might
knew I
be
had stumbled upon something
yeah,
unbelievable.
it might have to be the best spot of the match because he grabs the bow staff, does a little spin around with it, runs off the ropes, and does a rope climb, springboard, suicide dive, bow staff shot to the head.
The only way it would be better is if he pole vaulted off of it.
Oh
But
god.
I mean, I couldn't ask him to do that. He probably doesn't know it. But
No.
it's indicative of what he shows over and over here is that like he's really good at like maximizing damage, and he uses like the environment to his advantage. And so even when you have him down, he's gonna find like Jackie Chan. He's gonna
Yes.
find some crazy way to like to hit you in a way you're not expecting.
Yeah, because and as you mentioned, he does something exactly like that like 20 seconds later cuz he like he beats on Takeda for a little bit with the pole staff and then throws him into the ring post. And Takeda is like laying across the apron on the other side of the ring and Shiryu just runs over and then uses the ring post as like the ropes and does a 619 tiger feint kick, whatever you want to call it, using the pole to go around and kick Takeda in the back of the head.
Which is really remarkable because you call this 619. I've seen Rey Mysterio do this a couple times, but I've also seen him like eat shit trying to do this a couple times. So
Yes.
it kind of highlights how crazy good Chon Shiryu is that he can do this thing that even young Ray can't do.
Yeah.
And then
No,
he
he
stops that version and he pulls out a damn sword.
Oh yeah. Fucking fucking Takeda, man. Like what the fuck? He gets like I don't know what it is because in my notes I wrote down screwdriver or something of the stabbing variety, and I think when we watched this together, you said that it was something from the foreign object store, which
Yeah,
is I love this phrase that you've been using because basically everything Takeda has is completely unidentifiable, but certainly looks dangerous.
yeah,
Uh,
Matsunaga-esque.
yes, exactly, like
But
completely
I was actually talking
Matsunaga.
about the damn like wooden training
Oh,
sword that's like
yes, yeah,
sharpened to a
yeah,
point that
yeah,
Josh Shree gets out and licks and
yeah.
stabs him with. And then yeah, then Takeda's like, "Oh, we're stabbing now. All right, let me
Oh
get my
yeah,
stabber."
yeah. Let me get my stabbing
He
tool.
does the Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife.
Yeah,
And also, he pulls it from nowhere. I
he
have no
does.
idea where he got it.
It's so awesome because they're like in the dark in the crowd, and it's like low light Shinkiba, so you can kind of barely see them as they're doing this brawl for a second. And then Takeda like turns around and suddenly he has this thing with a red handle and a sharp edge. But you know,
And he uses it pretty effectively. And Chon does maybe one of the only things he can't do, because we haven't even like he can do this. He can do like he's like a Emi Sakura like associate. He can go do like Gato move and make it awesome, but he can't blade.
No, it took watching this match again to remind me, but I don't know if I've ever seen Chon Shiryu bleed, like ever. And I've certainly not seen every Chon Shiryu match. As Abi just said, he makes Gato move enjoyable, but that is to a point, and I just can't make myself watch most of his stuff there.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Not that I think he's bleeding in Choco Square. I don't think that's fucking happening. But
He would get pretty buck in Ice Ribbon though. I remember you showed me a Ice
oh
Ribbon
yes,
match
yeah.
where he
Back in those days, he was fucking he was duking it. But
those were different days. That was a
those
different
were
Emmy.
uh I don't know if I've ever seen him blade in his like I'm fucking guessing like at least like 1500 match career. Um like he has done so much, and yet I have truly never seen him bleed. So I'm not really shocked, but there is definitely like a point where you can see him, and I'm not. We certainly try not to pull back the curtain on this podcast. We pretty much love having it closed and just enjoying the shit as
Yeah,
as a
we
work.
like to suspend
But
disbelief here. Yeah,
that being said, there is one point where the camera like pans over and you can see Shiryu trying as hard as he can to blade. Um, and I guess I mean, maybe he just legitimately cannot bring himself to stab himself in the face. But you know what, man? Fair. I also don't like the idea of stabbing myself in the face. That's kind
yeah,
of a I get
I
it.
did too. And I would not be asking Takeda to do it for me. So,
Oh, no way. No, but
but Takeda pulls out this bag and dumps it in the middle of the ring, and like I popped more for this than the thumbtacks. I don't. I think
yes.
the parts of this would be worse than thumbtacks, dude.
Oh yeah, because like thumbtacks are like just little fucking. It's like a controlled point. It's the point is just kind of small. It's not fun, but it's a small little thing. You know what you're gonna get. There's really only so much damage they can do. Uh, this is like miscellaneous garbage in aluminum cans, and that's like way more dangerous.
Yeah, and he somehow when he dumps it out, there's a Coke can that lands like straight up in the middle
Yeah,
of it. So it's like perfect. It was ordained. It was meant to
it
be.
was.
Yeah. Uh, but before he can use that, he then pulls out a barbed wire bat, and he does the Triple H thing to the forehead. You know, he grinds it in, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is John Shiryu. This is like a you know small fun show.
Yeah.
He Irish whips him and swings the barbed wire bat into his face.
Yeah, he swings for the fucking fences, dude. He like he hits him and his his like swing trails out from how hard he hits him. Like it's not like a little pop and then the thing goes back. He hits him and the swing continues beyond Chon
Yeah,
Shiryu.
it's like
But you
the King
can
Griffey Jr. home run
yes.
follow through.
Yes. And he does also immediately after go for another one. And, you know, once again, swinging for the fence is going to kill him. And the camera's fully focused on Takeda. This is a wonderful bit of Kishindo single handheld camera magic. Completely focused on Takeda. Takeda goes for the shot. Chon Shiryu reappears with the walk.
And this is
And
not an Attitude Era like Dollar Tree cookware. Like
no.
he bangs the gourd on it. He does when Nash like slammed the bat into the steps to let you know
Hmm.
it's like serious. He's banging the gourd on it at the beginning of the match. This is just like a wok.
It's like solid steel, like
Yeah.
stainless steel walk.
And if you've cooked in a wok, it's pretty fucking heavy. and
That
it
shit
sounds
is
like it
heavy.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, because he blocks the barbed wire shard. He like kind of does. He like kind of like catches it a little bit and then backs off for a second and then full force swings that bitch into Takeda's chest, and it makes the most disgusting like thud sound.
It's so nasty. And then he does the Chon Shiryu style. He does a Chon Daminator, and then he does a
Yes,
Chon Terminator
yes, he,
with the wok.
yeah. Cause fucking like what does he do first? He like I know he like hits him again a couple times, and then he
He like
puts the
puts it on
wok.
his face.
Yes, puts it on his face, picks up the bat
Yep.
backwards, and then uses the handle that's just metal and bangs it off the wok into Takeda's face, and it makes this like dong sound.
But then he does the swing, the 619 again with the wok like on his face, and it sits
Yes.
on his face perfectly. Like it's really remarkable how perfectly everything goes in this, and not in like a super smooth kind of way. It really does feel like you're watching like a choreographed kung fu fight.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it, 'cause, you're watching fucking Wheels on Meals, and you're not looking at it and going, "Look at how like
Yeah.
look at how set up everything is." Like, no, they put a concerted effort into like making these convoluted setups make some level of sense. Like they do enough to where you can go, "Okay, I don't have to worry about believing this or not because I just do." That is exactly what they do here, because they'll like Shiryu will set something up and then immediately moving like lightning, get into like his position, jump off, and he does, as you said, the weird like springboard 619. I don't even know how to explain it because you have to just see it, but he is legitimately like springboarding off of the ropes, grabbing onto the other ropes as he's going down, and then swinging in with the 619. It is nonsensical. It does. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah. And then the moment that made us both scream, I think,
Yeah.
when the barbed wire bat comes back.
Yeah, he
And back is the operative word there.
yes. Yes. Chon Shiryu goes for one of the few wrestling moves that he does when he applies a gory special, except he applies it while holding a barbed wire bat against his own back, which in turn he is pressing into Takeda's back and neck. So he is like torturing himself with this barbed wire bat to inflict maximum punishment upon Takeda, and then he hits the gory special, and it is great gory special. The spot is awesome with the barbed wire on the back, but I will say when that bat flies in the air for a second, it definitely turns over and hits Takeda in the back of the head. Takeda's like immediately grabbing his head, and there's like a thunk sound when he lands.
Yeah, anybody else would be unconscious probably.
But Takeda is a different kind of beast at this point in time. So he's just right back up. He is immediately taking a Chon Shiryu combo that ends with a kick to the head, and all of the awesome little tricked out kicks Takeda does, or Shiryu does, and then he responds with a crazy fucking spear.
Yeah, a spear cut off, which is like always worth jumping out of your seat for. But
Yeah.
Takeda is so good. I mentioned we were watching this that like Under Fire Brady is like a huge Takeda head, and he doesn't watch Deathmatch. It's because of the Takeda like shoot style stuff and shoot adjacent stuff. And he is an incredibly great like fundamental wrestler, and Chon's a little guy. The spear looks incredible.
Yes. No, it's I mean, Takeda is like a fantastic wrestler. I think that's almost been like it's not been lost because I think everyone, if you know who Takeda is, the one thing you really know about him is that he's not a great deathmatch wrestler as much as he is a great wrestler who is incredibly capable of death matches. I feel like that's always kind of been his reputation, is like he could do great without the death matches, but with the death matches he's on another level. But I really, even with that reputation, I don't think enough people have seen his non-death match work because he is so great. Like both in the shooty context because he's a fucking Kiyoshi Tamura trainee, but also when he's doing like juniors matches or like tags or something, where he's not shooting as much as he's just working at a monstrous pace. He is so good at like everything. And this match especially feels like a great showcase of how great he is because you get to see like the hardcore brawler deathmatch guy Takeda. But it's like 25% of this match, and the other 75% is him being just a complete killer. As evidenced by this fucking guy beating on Takeda in the corner for a little bit, kicking him down, and then hitting the craziest running dropkick to the face I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely kills him. A corner basement kill.
Yeah.
And then he follows with a double stomp to the back.
Vader bomb style.
Yeah,
Like,
which I always love when because it feels like just a little tacked on, like fuck you. You know?
yeah.
Like I'm just gonna murder you real quick, and then he begins his efforts to try to uh, kill Chon on the garbage that is still mid ring.
Yes, he is dead set on angle slamming Chon Shiryu into the garbage and the walk and everything else. He gives a good try, but Sean lands on his feet, grabs the walk, puts it against Takeda's head with one hand, and then hits a head kick while still holding it there. And of course, once again, makes a crazy ass sound, looks and sounds ridiculous.
I
Uh,
wrote head kick with wok, which
yeah,
when I look at it on my notes looks like a Chinese menu mistranslation.
yeah.
But
And
that's what Takeda felt like he was looking at.
yeah, and Chon hits his crazy fucking corner combo where he hits the running kick to the face where he bounce he like uses the face as a springboard to bounce over and land on the apron. Uh Big chop to the back of the head and then follows it up with the springboard flying kick. I mean, really. I don't know when we're going to do it. I'm going to have to assemble the lineup for it. I don't even know what I would include. But the fact that I have not made us do a Chon Shiryu episode yet is a mark against me because this is the ultimate kung fu wrestler.
He's just so cool and fun and willing to die and kill. Like you think of him like we talked about already. He's a gato move guy. He's done a bunch of like DDT adjacent stuff, but he's
Yes.
really brutal always.
For a guy who is like on paper goofy gimmick and who has constantly spent his time in these goofy shit companies, uh there are very few people more willing to get their ass kicked. Um I will say there is another match these two guys have that is not as fitting for this podcast, but is absolutely fantastic. To the point that it was at one point on my GME list like a few years ago.
Yeah, I asked you when we were talking about this, are we doing the fun one or like the insanely great one?
Yeah.
This
And
one
I
is
think
great. This one is great. Yeah, your
yeah.
response was perfect.
Yeah, I think this one is definitely more fitting for the pod and especially for this episode, but if you want to see not only their best work together, but Chon Shiryu's best work in a serious kind of match and like a top guy kind of performance. Like that match is Chon Shiryu at his best and most willing to kill and die. Um there are like three spots in that match that are maybe the most dangerous spots I've ever seen. There is one that I still hold as the most dangerous spot I've ever seen in my entire life. More than like any deathmatch shit or explosions or the All Japan head drops. There's one that truly looks like it should have killed Masashi Takeda. And I don't get how it didn't. Um,
Yes, this will
but
be the main event of our Chon Shiryu episode for sure.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. But this one is definitely more fitting with the theme, and it shows both guys doing really some of their best, like some of their best introductory work. I think if you're trying to get into either of these guys, this is not a bad pick for the first match you would watch, especially Sean Shiryu, because it's against a very well-known guy, and it's him getting to unload like most of his base arsenal while looking like the coolest fucking dude ever. Um, You really cannot go wrong with this. But Chon Shiryu goes for a big dive with the walk and the gourd in hand, like he's going to like double like smash them into the side of Takeda's head at the same time and explode his brain.
Like the old territory clap spot, but for
Yes,
real.
but
Yeah, and he's
diving with
already hit
like
a
hard
running,
objects.
jumping, diving bow staff shot, so it's very
Yeah,
plausible.
I was gonna say there's only one way you could go even further than that. So, but Takeda catches him out of midair and hits him with a crazy ass spine buster, and follows it up with an angle slam, an
Oof.
Olympic slam, where Chon Shiryu lands directly on the walk, like middle of the back, landing on like the edge of the walk, and you can see his whole body contort from the landing. It is gnarly, gnarly stuff. And he gets a 2.9. It doesn't even get the 3. Takeda's freaking the fuck out. So he immediately grabs everything in the ring, puts it in one big pile, and hits the reverse U crash like directly onto the big pile of shit and gets the win. I mean, this is like fantastic stuff, man.
And
This
yeah,
is
it's the Farouk Dominator onto
yes,
everything.
yes,
Perfect pace, perfect layout, fun, gross. And I told you when we watched it, for some reason I did not turn it off after the finish, and I'm so glad I
yes,
didn't because
yes. Uh, so after the match. And I just want to tack on that everything we say now has no real bearing on the pod or anything else, but it's just if you're going to talk about this match, we have to mention the post match.
it's crazy.
Um, Takeda celebrates for a little bit, and then out of nowhere appears Survival Tobita, who
The most
bum rushes
unexpected run in of all time.
Takeda and beats him up, and then like opens up his little backpack, his little mini backpack, and pulls out a knife, and also pulls out a carrot so he can cut it up to demonstrate how
Yeah.
sharp the knife is.
He slices 2 carrots
He
midair with
does.
this
He's
knife.
got he. It's like he slices the first carrot. It's like okay, this is like we. The knife is sharp, and then he reaches in the
And
bag
I'm
and pulls out another
legitimately thinking,
carrot.
like well, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Masashi Takeda would be like, okay, stab me. So I'm really like, is he about to do a murder?
Yeah.
And Masashi Takeda is a monster,
Yeah.
so
Uh
he's within his rights to kill all monsters.
yes. So Tobita beats on Takeda, or to like starts threatening with the knife, and then gets the mic and talks shit. And he talks shit to Ganosuke, and Ganosuke's Ganosuke's like, get the fuck out of here, man. Go away. You get out of
Saved his
here.
life. Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, go away. Um Now, sadly, we never see the payoff to this in full because this is actually not a Kishindo angle. This is like a general indie angle. I don't even know how to explain it because it spanned like multiple companies and like talk battles. I think I mentioned it to you like briefly, but from my memory, it's like these guys challenged each other on different shows, like produce shows or something. And then it led to this and like a talk battle where like they talk shit about each other. And it inevitably leads to a match in Asagaya Loft Pro Wrestling, which was a wrestling company that was run in a bar that a bunch of wrestlers would frequent, and like they would do like events there a lot, like talking events and like fan gatherings and stuff. So it eventually led to like their first anniversary show where the main event was a hardcore UWF rules match between Takeda and Tobita. Uh, we have clips of that, thankfully, from Occupation. I've been told by a trusted confidant that none of the footage exists anymore in any capacity, unless if the wrestlers themselves have it, that would be the only way that it would exist. And he has no clue if any wrestlers own it. But the guy that ran it and anybody else involved in running it no longer has the footage. So the best we'll probably ever get is the Occupation highlights, but it looks awesome.
it does. Just imagine it. You'll be good.
Yeah, just imagine what this match would look like. It's about that. So
But yeah, that's how I like convinced people to watch this. I was like, first of all, it's incredible, but it also has like the most nut ass run in in the
yeah,
history of run ins at the end.
yes, yeah,
Opening match, as you said.
yeah. That's the way we're starting the pod, and that's the way they started this episode, this Kishindo show. This
Yes.
is us and Ganosuke are very similar in mind, so I think that he should let us book Kishindo for him. He should bring it back and let the different style whites book it.
Could go wrong.
What could go wrong? So, we are now moving back, I believe, about 12 years? Because that was in
11, I think.
yeah, I think because that was in 2009. This one is in 1997?
It's 98 because it actually is a
Oh,
tournament match in the
it
Young
is!
Generation Battle
It
98.
is!
Yeah.
You're right! Young Generation Battle 98. Look at that. Yeah, this is uh, Katsumi Usuda versus Ryuji Yamakawa from August 29th of 98. This is on a Battle Arts show as part, as Avi said, of the Young Generation Battle where everyone involved is young. I think fucking Usuda here is a spry 28. He's young.
The Young Generation
Yamakawa.
Battle that Ishikawa won like multiple.
The Young Generation Battle where Ishikawa in his mid 30s is cleaning house. um,
Whatever, it's awesome. It's great.
yes,
And a little there's like a this is a small piece of like a broader Battle Arts Big Japan feud.
yes, which is awesome. And I honestly had in the notes that maybe one day we talk about more from it because it has
I know there's a
some matches that
tag
are
that
crazy. Yes, there's a crazy ass tag that happens like fucking oh god what like I want to say like right before this, like maybe a few months
I
before,
think
because this
it's
is
definitely 98. It's
I was gonna
either a
say
little
that
before or a little after, but yeah.
this is August, and that tag is in May, I think, in the
In
Kurokian
Big Japan.
Hall.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Yamakawa and Matsunaga against Usuda and Ishikawa. That match fucking rules, and if we ever get around to talking about it, we absolutely will be covering that. We'll cover something else. There are some singles matches that happen in both companies that are awesome. Um, but it is the death matchers and the hardcore guys taking on the weird hybrid shooty fellas from Battle Arts, the Bati Bati fuckers. And Usuda is a great representative guy here for Battle Arts, kind of a silent killer, way less of of an imposing force compared to Ikeda or Ishikawa or even Otsuka, kind of, who is an underdog, but he is like already well known to be this freak of nature who can just bend you to his whims. Meanwhile, Usuda is a very, very calm, collected guy who is able to flip the switch and kill you, but he's just not thought of
Yeah,
in the same level.
he's he's got the like the simmering rage
Yes.
that none of those other guys have. And I think he- he's like a guy you have to see I think a lot before you're like, "Oh yeah, he's like deserving to be on the level of those other guys." But yeah, he's as you said, a silent killer, but when he gets pissed off, I love pissed off Usuda face.
Yes. There's of the Battle Arts crew, I think he's probably the best guy when it comes to getting pissed off. Like maybe Ishikawa above him, and that's only because Ishikawa's like I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here, both in terms of who I'm talking to in the call and who I'm talking to audience. But Ishikawa's like maybe the best ever, so that's the only reason why.
But yeah, his he's a little more loose with it. As soon as it's like a simmering, like controlled
Yes,
type of rage.
Ishikawa explodes with anger,
Yeah,
Usuda just kills.
yeah,
He's very directed in his anger. Yamakawa, meanwhile, is like maybe one of the most charismatic guys on the indies in this era. I would say at least he's up there. He's gone from being this young reckless guy who would take like the craziest bumps and do everything he could to put on a crazy ass match to like now he's starting to have these really eccentric entrances, and he's got the bleach blonde hair, and he's like he had like prosthetic like middle teeth I think that he would wear whenever he got his teeth knocked out, but he's starting to not wear those anymore to like really craft the look of this like fucking psychopath.
Yeah, and
Um
he's a real worker too. Like he
yeah, he
gets
is
the
a real
little
ass worker.
yeah. He's really good at like the as you said, he's very charismatic and he's really good at getting these little pieces of heat
Yeah.
and maximizing everything.
This match is really interesting too because it's happening in Sapporo Tyson Hall, and Yamakawa is from Hokkaido is like his region. Like he is from this general area, and this is kind of a he's kind of already a legend in this specific arena. There is a match in Big Japan. I want to say in this year actually. Uh, God, let me check to make sure. But he has a match with Shadow WX uh in Hokkaido that is fucking crazy. Um Let me see. Yeah, I think it's the Falcon Cup or I don't know, but he has a match in this area with WX at some point, and it is a crazy ass match. He has a match with Tomoaki Honma too that is really psychotic, and it's probably one of the more well known Big Japan matches of this era. That's all to say. This is like his his home area. This is borderline his home venue. But this is also a battle art show. So there's a lot of weird conflicts going on here of like who deserves the cheers and who deserves the boos. And the crowd definitely bounces between the two depending on like who they feel is playing more as the heel at any point. Because they do definitely like mess around with that. Yamakawa's doing a lot of tossing. He's doing like the wacha like kung
He
fu
does a little
posing.
mockery at the
Yeah.
beginning.
But Usuda just responds
The
by
match.
grappling the fuck out of him and punching him in the face and putting him in like sleeper holds.
Yeah. So this one, like the last, not strictly a deathmatch different style fight, but also it is, and demonstrated immediately because Yamakawa goes for a vertical suplex and tries to roll over for the pin and
Yes.
forgets that he's in Battle Arts, which has essentially the same rules as a different style fight at all times. So I
Yes.
guess it is a different style fight, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
um
Usuda is trying to rip his leg off.
I was gonna say this whole like the whole first like 3 to 5 minutes is almost entirely just Usuda killing him because Yamakawa will like find these moments to fight back. But most of it is like Yamakawa will get a slight advantage. Usuda will counter that with some sort of like submission or grappling counter or something. He'll throw like shots to the back of the head or to the ribs and then put on. He is hunting for sleeper holds in this one. And he is like jumping onto his back as he is running away to like put in these like crazy ass sleeper holds. Um, and there are points like really early on where Yamakawa is already like acting like he's about to lose because he's like going for the ropes and shit. um,
And
Yamak
he catches a kick in the face, and I think it
oh,
genuinely like flusters him because he tries to throw some knees, and they're
he
like the
does.
weakest. Like,
Yeah,
he's barely there, but he makes up
yeah,
for it with the kick through Usuda's head almost
yes.
immediately after. So
Because that's the fucking the like the diving one, right? Where he
yeah,
like jumps off the top rope, hits a kneel kick, like the spinning heel kick shit, and he nearly decapitates Usuda with it. Like he drags his head down with him from like how hard he kicks him. Uh, and then he is like just beating on him, puts on a scorpion deathlock, and does like the Takashi Ishikawa point with it, which is a
yeah.
awesome fucking move from Yamakawa, who actually, now that I think about it, uh, I think he's a Tokyo Pro guy, so that makes sense. Or no, he was an NOW guy, but then he went to Tokyo Pro. So he actually does have the Ishikawa thing. This is like complete like nerd shit. I'm sorry.
No,
But
no, it's hey, that's what we're
um
doing.
true.
Yeah.
Uh they go to the outside, and Yamakawa is like super in his element here now. He is beating the shit out of Usuda. And Usuda's like fighting back. But Yamakawa is just whipping him into like chairs and stuff. And Yamakawa steals a guy's juice box.
It's so good. You always see wrestlers go for the beer. It's so much funnier that he goes for the juice box.
Yeah.
And
And
probably,
then
yeah, more refreshing
yeah.
after you've just gotten uh, kicked in the face a few times.
Yeah. I think this is around the time that Yamakawa kind of goes off camera for a second and reappears. And in his hand, he has a strand of barbed wire.
Yes, now we've established this a different style fight. Now we've established this a death match. Anytime barbed
Yes,
wire enters the equation, it
barbed
qualifies.
wire. Um, so he
But
gets in the
Usuda kicks him in
ring.
the ass and takes it.
Yeah, he gets in the ring and Usuda just kicks him in the ass, kicks him in the gut, wraps his leg in the barbed wire. And if you have heard of this match or seen this match, you've seen it for everything that happens after this point. But he wraps his leg in the barbed wire, lands a crazy fucking leg kick that like very immediately like sets the tone. It's already tone set, leg wrapped in barbed wire. But he hits that first kick, and it feels like you are watching like a slaughtering at this point, because he kicks Yamakawa in the leg. Yamakawa sells it like death. I think almost immediately you can see some blood on his leg.
Yep.
Throwing some
The next
side
two, though.
kicks. Yeah, there's some crazy fucking side kicks. Lands a couple more kicks, and as he's kicking, the wire like flies off into the crowd, which is not talked about with this match much, but is a crazy fucking thing to have happened.
And he hits him in the
Um,
arm and the gut, and you can tell because he has holes in those places.
yes,
The
because
next time you
he
see him,
like throws Yamakawa out of the ring so he can go chase down the wire and reattach it to his
yeah,
leg,
I
and
think I actually saw the Battlarts card of the picture of him like wrapping the barbed wire before I
yes,
ever saw this match,
no, I
and
did too.
this just reminded me that I want to buy that.
Yeah.
I need to get on
Uh,
eBay and get some Battlarts cards.
I whenever in my last college apartment, I had a poster wall with some. I went to like the student printing center that people use for printing out like poster boards for their like presentations, and I was like, hey, can you print out these like wrestling posters that I can put on my wall and do it for like $2? And they're like, yeah, they're like, yeah, sure. Which that's the cheat code for anyone that needs cheap prints when you're in college. Just go to your college printing service and ask them to do it for cheap, and they usually will, because it's just
Yeah, they
another
don't care.
it's another
Yeah, they're
student
just
running it. They'll do it. They'll do it for free if you ask nice enough. But I had
yeah,
a big poster of Yamakawa
they're
standing on
doing their
top of
homework. They don't care.
Usuda. Yeah, yeah. I had a big poster of Usuda standing on top of Yamakawa, like pointing at the barbed wire around his leg, as like Yamakawa's covered in blood. Like that was.
Yeah,
This is one of the greatest like images. Like this whole match is full of some of the greatest images to come out of this era of wrestling. Um, but he wraps that leg back in the barbed wire, throws Yamakawa back in after we got a really good shot of, as you said, just holes in the side of Yamakawa's like side and shoulder and everything. Um, but pulls him back in, throws some gnarly middle kicks, and this barbed wire is like secured now. It's not going anywhere. And then Yamakawa falls onto his knees.
oh my
Usuda
god.
reels back, punt kick to the head with the barbed wire kickback.
Which also rips him up pretty
Rips
gnarly.
it.
Now he's got like
Yeah.
multiple holes in his head. And then Usuda does something so incredible. He just takes it off because
Yeah.
he doesn't need it anymore. Now
He
he's going
doesn't
to just
need it.
knock him unconscious.
Yeah.
Although he almost like simultaneously takes a lariat onto his brain. So maybe he should
Yes.
have kept it on for just a minute longer.
Yeah, fucking Yamakawa does get up and try to lariat Usuda, and Usuda is seemingly like genuinely so surprised by this development that he trips falling backwards. So Yamakawa just grabs him, yanks him up, runs the ropes, and hits a like the craziest fucking lariat. Usuda takes it like ass over tea kettle. Like he fully like eats shit on it. And then Yamakawa is like, all right, put him in the corner. I'm going to hit some running thing, but he is fucked. And this is Usuda's match to win. And Usuda responds by popping out of the corner and throwing a head kick as Yamakawa runs towards him.
Disgusting. And then like a shoot punch and a wild enziguri, and then picks him up and then does it to the front of his head.
I gotta
Same
say,
thing.
there have been a couple conversations, both in circles that we're in and also in general, of like best enziguri, because that's a move that basically like everyone does nowadays. It's like one of the, I would say it's probably the most used move in wrestling. That's like a strike, besides like a chop or an elbow or something. Um, I think Usuda secretly has like top 5 best one ever, because he always throws it like he's trying to kill you,
It's
like
incredible.
full
I've said before
force.
too, like all my favorite wrestlers do enziguris, and it's not a move that I love because a lot of
Yeah,
times I feel like it as like a signature move of like Tenryu or even Ishikawa, who's like my straight up favorite wrestler. It they will murder somebody with like kicks and punches, and then they'll throw an enziguri, and it's like, well, that doesn't look as awful as like everything that you just did,
yeah,
but this one is horrifying.
yeah. Usuda, the way he throws it, you would legitimately believe if it knocked a guy out, because it's like knocking his head across the ring. Um, and yeah, he does it to the normal way, back to the head, and then picks him up and does it to the face. Um, and then he just gets on top of him in mount
Tries to kill him.
position and tries to kill him by punching him to death as he's not responding. Like, Yamakawa is dead in the ring, not moving, and Usuda has him by the hair throwing punches at the face. And then referee, I think Ted Tanabe, like jumps in the middle of me. He's like, stop, stop, and it calls the match off.
And he had to, because
He
it does
did.
look like a UFC thing. Like he
He
is
did.
just rocking his brain. Amazing match. Sort of.
Amazing post match too, because
Yeah.
Usuda stands up, runs to the corner. His chest and face is covered in Yamakawa's blood. His fists are covered in his blood, and he stands in the corner and he does like the Kurt Angle, yeah, and like he does the cutthroat taunt at the crowd. He's it is if there has
Evil.
ever been a time that Usuda has looked like the coolest wrestler in the world, this is probably the moment where like you show someone this performance, you could probably convince them he is like the top guy in the company. And he probably should have been for at least a minute.
Yeah, yeah, he should have gotten that because he also like if you go through and watch this stuff, there are so many tags where Usuda's like third or fourth guy, where he's just an absolute murderer.
Yeah, it is. I almost feel bad for Usuda, because he was kind of destined to never be like almost never even top 3, because it just so
Tough. It's
happens that
tough in a small
he
promotion.
he's in the same company as Yuki Ishikawa,
Yep.
Daisuke Ikeda, Takeshi Ono, Otsuka. Like,
Yep.
he's Minoru Tanaka
Carl
even, which
Malenko.
Karl Malenko. Like, there was it was a hard war for him to win, and I do think some nights he did win it. Like, I think he's probably the best guy on this show. But
Yeah,
man,
he's great.
you put him
Go
like
watch him.
anywhere else during this period, he is the top guy.
Yeah. And I was shocked when we were watching this. You told me how long he had been around and how he had sort of uh
Yes.
he was much older than I thought.
Yeah, because he is in this match. Let me see, because I was talking about everyone else's age. I don't even think I mentioned Usuda's. Yeah, no, Usuda is actually 28, but he has spent the last like 10, like 8 or 10. Yeah, I'd say 8 years. He spent like the last 7 or 8 years like bouncing around dojos and companies, like trying to find somewhere to like start his career. Because he was training with Fujiwara, and then he ran away because he was scared that Minoru Suzuki was going to kill him, which is a fair fear to have,
Yep.
considering that Suzuki is currently 1-0 on his KD ratio. And he goes to Wing during the period where Wing was marketing itself as a real martial arts organization. Which I didn't even mention this to you when I was explaining it, but there were multiple people involved in the business who went to Wing solely because the way they marketed it, it looked like it was going to be a real fighting organization.
Yeah, and I think we've
Um,
talked about that on the pod before,
yes,
which was the first I'd heard about it, but that was like the original conception, right?
it
That
was
it was going to sort of be like, I mean, basically FMW.
that the idea was that it was going to be like 89 FMW again. But 89 FMW kind of still marketed itself within wrestling. Wing was actively asking for martial artists to apply to the company and was like the way they were promoting was talking about like legitimate fighting. So people joined Wing thinking it was going to be like, I mean, they thought it was going to be like Shudo, like it was going to be a mixed martial arts organization. And then it wasn't. The first show happened, and it very clearly was like a worked show with different style fights. So a bunch of people left, including Usuda, who joined Sato Kaikon, like the karate dojo, and did kind of sort of debut because he has a match with Naoyuki Taira that I'm fairly certain is a work, but that technically is not his first match because it was like marketed as a shoot fight. I just think it was fixed. um and then he eventually goes back to Fujiwara Gumi because at this point the Pancrase Exodus has happened, so he no longer has to worry about Suzuki killing him.
His op
Um,
left, yeah.
and then at that point he debuts for the company, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
But extensive career for Usuda. Love the guy. He's fantastic here. Yamakawa fucking rules. If you haven't seen this match, go watch it. I mean, watch everything, but this is one of the ones in our sphere that like I'm kind of shocked if you're listening, you somehow haven't seen it.
Yeah, and what after those two, what could possibly be the main event? I mean, I'm spent. I don't, what could possibly move me after watching these two matches?
Well,
I dare you.
I I think we need to bounce back to a pairing that we have not talked about in a long, long time. We are going to Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling. We are going to the year of our Lord 1994.
As far as I know, the last year that FMW was a going concern.
Yeah. Uh we are going to Osaka Joe Hall, and we are going to see Atsushi Onita versus Masashi Aoyagi in a no rope barbed wire current blast barricade mat double hell death match. It's back.
And I think I meant to go back and listen, but like I know we talked about this when we did that episode, but I
Yes.
think we said like, yeah, we'll probably never talk about this one, but
Yeah, we did.
it
We
also
100% did.
rules.
Yes.
But this is the Onita retirement tour uh, deal, and it just makes so much sense to bring Oyagi in for one more go, and it should not be surprising to anyone who listens to this that they absolutely nail it. The wrestlers and the production and everything.
Yeah. No, this is a fantastic time.
And we set us up because we talked about how uh, Oyagi left. Um, was it Pioneer Senshi?
Yes,
That yeah, because he's getting stiffed basically, and they really haven't interacted until the summer of '94 again.
yes. It's funny because we've actually over the last like 10, 15 episodes, like since we talked about that, we've actually kind of established the whole lore of Masashi Aoyagi's journey up to this point because we talked about his FMW stuff, we talked about his Pioneer stuff, how he doesn't like how he gets injured and is not able to compete in the December 89 barbed wire tag match, and
Yeah,
Harry Quinn subs in for him. We talked about how he then wasn't able to compete in the martial arts tournament, and Lee Gok-soo subs in for him. We talked about how he goes to Pioneer because Pioneer offers him a shit ton more money, and then Ryumago doesn't tell him he's only going to get booked once a month. um, we talked about his New Japan stuff, how he
Yeah, he
comes
finds
into
his way to
that.
New Japan, and
We
he's
talked
he's
about talked about
innocuous run until it's not.
yeah, how he has a good time. He does some different style of fighting, but then settles into the mid card, and then suddenly Kuniaki Kobayashi kills a trainee, and
Yeah,
now
now
everything's
he's in the
turned to shit.
greatest shit of all time. Yeah,
We have mentioned in passing that after that happens, we mentioned at the end of that whole saga that he gets in with Kobayashi and Saito joins him, and they get in with Heisei Ishingun, and they run rampant in New Japan
yeah.
and
Also great
war.
shit. Yep.
Great shit. Um, I have mentioned it in a little bit. Really, it's more a thing that I've talked about on different mediums, but we've mentioned it on the pod that he in 1994 is involved in the New Stage Battle as Wrestling organization, which is in a short explanation a complete fucking nightmare, and not really worth discussing as part of the Aoyagi story, but it's just funny to note that as this complete sinking ship of a wrestling company is going on, where he is meant to be the figurehead, he is also going back to FMW as part of Atsushi Onita's final run. He makes his first appearance in a match where he kills Sambo Asako, which is the best way to reintroduce yourself to the
Yeah.
fans.
Yes.
um, he is getting in with Mr. Pogo and joining up with the anti-Onita alliance, kind
That
of
fucker.
trying, really setting it clear that he is here to get it back in blood, and when they had their rivalry before, it ended 1-1-1. They both got a win and they got a draw, but Aoyagi wants to make sure that this time he is decisively the one on top. And he is willing to do it in Atsushi Onita's current playground, because this is an Onita that is way more like the game has evolved
Yeah.
so
It's
beyond
this is
where Aoyagi has been.
a different Onita and a different FMW, and dare I say, Onita is in the midst of one of the all-time runs.
Yes, I would have to agree. God, I hadn't even thought about it until I just said it, but it is crazy to think that Aoyagi left FMW. His last appearance was around the time that they were debuting Barbed Wire in Japan. That was he is gone from the company. His last booked appearance before the injury thing begins is the show where they debut Barbed Wire in the entire country, and now here we are 4 years later, and there are bombs.
Yeah,
what
and
a what
there
a
there
fucking
are
evolution.
yeah there are bombs like every month,
Yeah.
and we've this is an unbelievable match, and I
Yes.
love all this stuff so much, but you can feel it in the match in that when they're having their match, which we've already talked about is like one of the great matches, Oyagi versus Onita, and they're doing that, you don't really feel how many people are here until they start teasing the explosions. Like these
I
people are
was
sort of
yeah.
already boiled.
They're kind of conditioned. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird. We were watching the match together, and I never said it out loud because I was like, I know Abby knows this, and I don't even really want to mention it, but it's very slightly heartbreaking because you see these guys doing basically all the shit they did 4 years ago, really 5 years ago, because this is August, so really 5 years ago in the past. Um, they're doing all the same shit, and back then it was getting like monumentous pops. They were fighting in a way that
And
generated
that
so much
sound we've
heat that
talked
it
about,
led
yeah,
to like a
just the
shoot
constant
fight, a
heat.
riot, and the constant noise and everything. And then you get to this match, and it's just not there. Like, the hum doesn't exist
It doesn't,
during
but it's
this.
easy to miss early because of the way they have this lit and shot.
Yes.
I said when we were watching it, it feels like they're on the moon.
It does.
They're fighting in space. These two titans are fighting in space, and you sort of forget that you're even watching a death match because they settle right back into the heat. And then when they start to get close to the ropes, then there's this tremendous roar because they're in a massive building with a massive crowd that you can't see.
Yeah,
But it's like, oh yeah, they're
it's
there.
it truly, like, we cannot say enough. You could hear a pin drop, and there are 15,000 people in the arena. And you like, every now and then you'll hear a cough for a lot of the middle of the ring fighting. And the fighting is good. Like, again, Aoyagi is here. He's got a fucking insane haircut. Like, he is
He comes out first in the rag.
he's got the do-rag on.
Which he probably should have
Um,
kept it on. I would have kept it on.
yeah, no,
If I got if my barber fucked me up like that.
but he's throwing the combos.
Yeah,
He's
he's
combo
doing the thing. He's
training.
being the perfect Onita opponent.
Oh, Onita is still selling like a motherfucker. He's not lost that in any way, shape, or form. Um,
No, he
and
might be better.
yeah, I honestly, I don't know, because I feel like he's probably better, but in this match, he's definitely kind of reserving some of his biggest sells for the explosions, as compared to like '89, when every single shot he was selling in such this like melodramatic, like horrified, like bumpy, like squirmish Terry Funk, like shaky sell. And this one, he's kind of eating it and doing a really like a great sell, but it's not as emotive until they start getting close to the wire, which at that point he fully activates. And I get that that's probably for this match the right move. Um, but regardless, he's doing great work, and they're fighting, and it's silence. And as you said, every time it cuts to a side angle, it looks like they are fighting on the moon because it is complete darkness behind them. um,
Overused and misused nowadays, but this is like cinematic
yes,
in the way that they did and Onita did and FMW did.
yes, but uh, it's I wouldn't even say the crowd being this silent is inherently bad. It's not good. I want to clarify that. I'm not happy. I would prefer if they were of the same attitude as the '89 crowd, but we're about 5 years deep in from that time,
And a million miles
and
away, yeah.
million miles away. This is probably a completely different audience, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's a big audience.
this is a big audience, and they are here to see bombs. And really, the more that Aoyagi fights, the more that he's delaying the bombs. But man, they are doing the great fighting. And as you say, when they start getting close to those ropes, you can tell this is what the crowd was there for, because they light up so quickly. They are
It kind of
freaking the
breaks the
fuck out.
reverie a little bit. It's like, and it's so good because the way that Oyagi is like getting him close to the ropes is just kicking him backwards.
Yeah, he's just kicking the shit out of them towards the bombs.
And he's doing the thing that he does, which is just like unrelenting strikes that all feel spontaneous, but are all like pinpoint and like they just never stop. Which is again, it's like the perfect opponent for Onita, because this is, I mean, by this point, there's an Onita formula, and I don't mean that derisively. It's a formula like there's a formula for Coca-Cola or Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yes.
Like
Yeah. It's time tested, and Abi and Jam approved. So
yes, but they do they tease it a little bit, uh, and then they go back to just having their awesome match where Oyagi's getting 85% of the offense. Every once in a while, Onita catches a leg, gets the half crab.
yeah, I
But
mean,
this is mostly Oyagi just decimating Onita.
it is. And there are very few wrestlers that are as good at decimating as Masashi Aoyagi. So it's not really even, I wouldn't even complain about that, because I love seeing him kick the shit out of someone. And there are very few guys he's been better at kicking the shit out of than Onita. You know, as we have said time and time again, this is a perfect pairing. This is a wholly ordained pairing of two wrestlers who will provide you with incredible work night in, night out, no matter what time, no matter what year, no matter what fucking decade. Like, Masashi Aoyagi's last match ever is like a 6-man death match, explosion match in FMWE in 2021. And is that match as a whole good? Yeah, but when those two guys are in there, it's like awesome. And this is 2021 pandemic, and they are still doing great shit. Um, incredible pairing that just can't go wrong. Uh, and of course, it does eventually build to the explosions because Aoyagi has been trying to kick him towards this wire, and Onita's been getting out of it, but he gets backed into the wire, and Aoyagi hits this big spin kick, the spinning soul butt to the gut, and lands a chest kick, and Onita like stumbles back and hits the wire, and I mean, fucking I don't get how anyone else has just not ever figured this out because the bomb that they have here looks like a bomb. It looks like a bomb. He explodes. And it's nuts. And the crowd loses their shit. And Aoyagi even kind of sells it. He's like, "What the fuck was that?"
And Onita, when he falls forward, his arm is shredded. Classic. His back is I guess it blew the Mr. Pogo scab off the middle of his back or whatever.
Yeah.
But classic, bleeding through the tank top. The arm is gushing blood.
There's smoke coming off of his like hair
Yeah.
from where it got singed by the bomb.
And if he was getting owned before, now it's twice as bad because he's just been exploded.
Yeah. I mean, and Aoyagi too, he really starts to get like how vicious he needs to be to really get the crowd into it because he's doing all the kicking, and the crowd, even after the bomb, which in theory should have woke them up enough to keep him going, they start to quiet down again with all the kicking. So
It's like a
Aoyagi,
it's like an
like get,
AEW crowd.
oh god, you're right, oh, but Aoyagi, notices that and decides to ramp up the violence by like trying to eat Atsushi Onita's back. Like I don't know what the fuck
Yeah,
he was doing there,
he bites
but
it, and after he bites it, he's elbowing it like he's breaking a board in
yeah.
like a karate demonstration,
And the crowd does
stomping it.
kind of react to that. They start getting back into it because Aoyagi is demonstrating this level of viciousness and grotesque, monstrous kind of violence that it's kind of what it takes to get them alive again when you're not just blowing shit up. I don't want to say this FMW crowd is kind of like a sensory baby video, but I gotta say, as someone who is watching really great shit and seeing them only pop for the explosions, I was kind of getting pissed off.
Yeah, but
But
Oyagi uses it because they start teasing the mat,
they
which
do.
is similar to that very early barbed wire match they do with the mat on the floor that's just covered in wire, but now it has bombs.
Yes.
And he's kicking him in the back now towards the mat,
Yes. And this,
and then they sort of wake up again.
yeah, because they start doing an Onita chant. And again, as I said, the Aoyagi violence is ramped up enough that he's able to get them kind of rolling on a more consistent level. Um, and he's getting Onita so close to the landmines on the outside with these kicks, and he like backs up to go for another one, and Onita pops up, runs over, and by God, Atsushi Onita rushing lariat in 1994.
For an
Oh
8
man.
count.
For an 8 count, he nearly gets the win off of that, and the crowd does not seem like they're super happy about it. But me, as someone that has watched all the other shit, I'm like, yes, yes.
Then he does some
Uh,
more classic kicks, a backdrop.
Yes, he does.
Oh,
Aoyagi, there's a great shot of Aoyagi's gi covered in blood after that too, because he's Onita's face and like all the wounds on his body are getting all over Aoyagi's gi now.
yeah, every kick he gets more blood on his on his pants.
Yeah, and then finally, I think this is around the time that Aoyagi just fucking knees his way out of a side headlock,
To
and
the
just
back.
pushes Onita straight into the landmines.
He he knees him down, and then he does like a running punt kick, basically.
Yeah.
And Onita flies through the ropes and lands on the explosion, and we get a beautiful, beautiful moment of Onita trying to fight back into the ring, and he doesn't take it all the way to the 19 count, which I was very much appreciative of. He did not need
Yes.
to.
Yes.
I think it's like a 13, but he gets back in, and there's just more Aoyagiing, and yeah, like you said, he's just his gi is red.
Yeah. He's throwing the big Aoyagi Memphis punch and hitting the big head kicks and gets a down count. In my notes at this point, I read that he is just kicking the shit out of him because he is just unrelenting, kicking Onita in the back and on the arm and all over on all the wounds.
Destroying him, and when he gets up and he feints a kick, and then he steps forward, and the only way I can describe it is he like dead legs Onita. He just
Yeah.
does that big Memphis punch right above Onita's knee, which sounds disgusting, and Onita even looks at him like, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, that's it's crazy, and it does feel like Onita at this point, after all of this beating he's getting, is almost fed up because that's around the time that he grabs Aoyagi by the gi and just backs up and drags him pulls him down with himself. Kamikaze drags him into the barbed wire, and Masashi Aoyagi blows up.
They do. And then another beautiful moment where they're both struggling to try to get back in the ring. And this really is like a movie.
Yes, because
This is so good.
amazing shot, like hard cam style of both guys on the same, like in the barbed wire, like trying to just pull themselves up onto the apron. And it kind of looks like Onita, even though he suicided himself into the barbed wire to make it happen, is going to get in before Aoyagi. But then here
Oh,
comes Mr. Pogo, who throws a crazy fucking fireball, and
out of the darkness.
out of the darkness. And Aoyagi gets in the ring, and Onita is struggling. And at the 19 count, he gets back in.
He does, but now he's putting his hands up on the head kicks.
He is. He's trying his hardest to survive. And good thing, too, because Masashi Aoyagi is spamming them. He is hitting
Yeah.
like 20.
And he goes down again for a count, gets back up, crescent kick to the back of the head,
Oh.
knee off, which probably was a mistake in the exploding barbed wire match. And then he hits probably the grossest head kick of the whole match, and Onita bursts through it and lariats him into the exploding wire.
Genuinely, such a great spot.
Yeah.
Such a great moment. Like, the moment of the match. Like, Onita eating, as you said, the most disgusting head kick of the whole match, and then following it up with a crazy lariat that sends Aoyagi back first into the wire, and Aoyagi does the Greg Valentine flop. uh, and then at this point, it's kind of it's borderline clockwork for Onita because
Yep.
Aoyagi has just been blown up again, and there's really no way for him to fight back. So, Thunderfire powerbomb. Aoyagi is dying and gasping for air. He kicks out though. Onita hits a nasty lariat into another Thunderfire bomb. I don't even know if he pins him this time. I think he just leaves him there. Oh yeah, there's not even any pins either. I don't know why I'm saying that. He just leaves him, but it's like the count. Uh, and then one more time, Onita picks up Aoyagi, drops him directly on the top of his head with a third Thunder Firebomb, and that gets the 10 count. That gets the win. Atsushi Onita, on his road to retirement, has gotten his last win, his last singles win over Masashi Aoyagi.
So good, man.
Yeah. I feel like I know your answer, but I do want to. I at least know the very basic one, but I want to know your thoughts. How do you feel like this compares to like the first three matches they had?
I think the crowd holds it back a little.
I wouldn't even. For me, it's not a little, but for the
Yeah.
regardless, it holds it back.
Um, and we talked before about, I think we have both had the sort of the same realization about the third one, that we liked it so much more when we
Yes.
watched it, like in the context for the pod. But our previous, concept was it was the greatest hits. This is the greatest hits with the explosions gone in. I think the
Yes.
the individual performances are incredible. The match itself is incredible, but they're just in a different world. They're just in a different universe. I'm glad we have it. I
Yes.
love it. It's fantastic, but I think it's a easy 4 out of 4 probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty much in full agreement, and it's weird to say because I'm happy they had this match for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is that when watching the other Aoyagi Onita matches, there's almost an inclination to just believe that this pairing is infallible. And I think that in terms of the work they do, it is. Uh, but I think that my logic was flawed because I failed to truly appreciate the environment. Um, I think that it's undeniable that these two men created the environment of the first three
Yeah.
matches. They are the reason that environment existed. However, there was a lot of work that they put into creating it, and it was very specific circumstances that led to its creation in the first place. So when they take this match and supplant it into a completely different environment without that work put into to make it, to give it the springboard that the WKA match had, um, when it doesn't have that and the proposition instead is Onita fighting another one of his old rivals, um, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's sort of, you can never go home again. And
Yeah, yeah,
and we mentioned it, but Onita's also been on this run of doing this with, I mean, there's the Tenryu match, there's the Pogo match, like feels a little more like yeah, it's just a fun and great, but it's like a retirement tour match.
yes. It is. It's less about the two men and more about one man.
Yeah.
Um, and again, great match. I think that the work they did here on individual levels and even the work they did, as a pairing, as always, infallible. It's just this was not the match. This was not what the people in the arena came to see, and because of that, that does I truly think it does hamper it a lot. Um, Regardless, this is still a real great match. It's just we're talking about three of the greatest matches of all
Yeah.
time, and then really the greatest hits album from it.
Yeah.
Um, but no, awesome stuff. I am so happy that we have betrayed our previous expectations and actually have talked about this. It feels nice to be able to say that we've watched all of their singles matches. It feels like something that should have always been in the books for the pod. um, yeah, and it feels like the exact right way to end this episode because this is the most deathmatchy match on the list. It's also us going back to the most important different style fight series of all time and probably we talked about it even on that episode. This podcast would not exist without those
Yeah.
matches, so getting to see them apply the craft to a completely new place regardless of the result, which was still great, but regardless, um it's awesome to see and it's awesome to talk about.
Yep. We do have a question that we accidentally skipped
We
from
did.
great friend of the pod, Luke. We also have a quick one from Biz. There's a
Oh,
comment on the last post. She said, "I just remembered the guy who asked about fencing different style fights. Could you just Tiger Jeet sing it, or do you have to parry and riposte?"
oh, that's
Which
a
is a good
you know
question.
that is a good question.
I think if you can just stab,
Yeah.
it would be better.
I guess, I mean, if we're gonna do a fencing different style fight, we gotta let him stab. I don't think we can. We can't Tiger Jeet sing it in that capacity. Like, if they're gonna use the sword, we gotta let him use the sword, you
Yeah.
know. But as you did say, we did skip a question from great friend of the pod and friend of us, Lucas Plotter, and I will be committing Harakiri as apologies.
Yes. Great shame.
Yeah, it's great
Lucas
shame.
says, a question for the different style wise brethren. Steve Austin representing American football against Chris Adams has been talked about on the pod before. So, which other non combat sports would you most like to see represented in a different style fight? What do you think a move set would look like for whichever sport you pick? And most importantly, what would be the foreign object of choice that the sports practitioner would use in a match?
Ooh, ooh, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Um, I did think about this a little bit. And I'm still not 100%. Um, I will say, will we consider arm wrestling as a combat sport? Because there is at least one guy who fought in Pride with arm wrestling as his style. Um,
I would definitely watch it.
yeah, I think he would do a lot of Greco-Roman knuckle locks and would like win all of them. And he would like try to arm wrestle a guy's like head and just slam it into the ground.
I would like to see Yuki Ishikawa, the great, incredible wrestler, versus Yuki Ishikawa, the volleyball player.
Yes! Oh
I
my
think a
god!
volleyball guy would be sick because you could have like a lot of high spots. They
Oh,
could the foreign object is right there. You can just be
yes.
spiking the ball into people. That they a lot of the motions are like really quick and brutal, like upward or downward swings.
Yes.
I think a volleyball different style fight would be video game like and funny.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. Um, Kind of similar to football, but one of the ones that's been bouncing around my head is rugby. Um,
Yeah.
I would love to see a guy rugby tackling dudes in the ring. Like that would be fucked up. I actually don't know what the foreign object would be because I mean, obviously the easy pick is like the rugby ball.
Have like
Um,
a loaded. Well, they don't wear helmets. I was gonna say leather helmet, but that's they don't even wear.
I was gonna say they don't really wear anything, but like maybe a
Yeah.
single shoulder pad that's loaded, and they hit you with that one shoulder when they're slamming into you. Um, honestly for them, I would say it kind of defeats part of the question, but I wouldn't even give them a weapon. I think just give them the t-shirt and the pant, the little shorts, the tiny little booty shorts, and just send them out there and
Just let
let
them
them
run
kill.
head first.
Yeah,
We
give,
could.
give
We
him a
did.
give him a doctor to check on him after the match.
We do have the existence of a hole in one Barry Darso, but that would also be a fun one
Yes.
to
Yes. I did think about
think
golf for
of.
a second. Would he have
No,
the
what could
club
Chon
or the
Shiryu do
ball?
with golf?
Oh, what would Shiryu do with golf? That's a good question.
Uh, yeah, I think the football is the obvious one. You know,
Yeah.
any of them would be fun. We do have
Yes.
hole in one. We've got the goon. We've got
Oh, dude,
a
hockey would
hockey
be
representative.
awesome. Oh my god. Like
You could do the
the
Fry Takayama spot that they do
oh,
on
you
the
can.
hockey, right?
You can. You gotta let them have like the hockey mask. That's got to be there, like that. Or I mean, you could do like the actual like fucking hockey stick, but for some reason the mask feels like the right move to me, and you get him to headbutt while doing the clinch. Yeah, I mean, also basketball. Basketball would be fun.
Yeah, basketball would be great. Give us $1 billion and we'll
We
make it all
need
happen.
your money.
Yep.
I want to book LeBron James versus Daisuke Ikeda, and I think that you should give me the money to do it.
Wasn't there an indie guy who had a basketball gimmick?
Sugar Dunkerton.
Yes, yes, Sugar Dunkerton.
Yeah, he was good, and then he became friends with David Starr, and he was bad.
Oh boy, I must have been not watching
Well,
that.
no, that now he's Shug D.
Ah, oh yeah, because he does like southeastern indies.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
he's like introspective instead of playing
yeah,
basketball. And I mean, come
weak
on, man. You got
bitch.
come on, man. You got to get back to it.
Mm.
I fucked with Sugar Junkerton when I was watching Beyond Wrestling matches on YouTube in 2013. But that was a different time.
Yes, it was. Oh, man. Well,
I've grown as a person.
yeah, it's a different world too.
It's a different world.
So, do we have an inkling of what we're doing next week?
I have thought about a lot of different things because we do have a lot of stuff still on the table. It's just even of the stuff that I've just thought of, which there's tons of stuff I haven't, stuff that I've thought of in passing but forgot to write down. Um, there are a lot of really interesting guys still out there to visit, but I think there is one guy who we mentioned. I want to say like episodes ago. I think it was probably during the Z1 thing when we were talking about Ogasawara.
Mm.
Um, but there is a certain trainee of a Mr. Kazuhiko Ogasawara who really established himself on the scummiest of indies
Mm.
many years ago.
Yeah,
He's
better get
not.
them downloads.
Mm-hmm. If fucking for real, man, what is with all you perverts?
Yeah.
We gotta talk about basement matches for you to care. We're talking about arenas with tens of thousands of people, and you gotta hear Kate Ayato for
Yep.
to click on the pod. Get the fuck out of here. But we're talking about a guy that we've actually even talked about before because we talked about him when we were doing the recent different style fights episode. We're talking about a very rotund man and gi who knows how to throw a fucking punch. So
Oh, what more
get
could you ask
ready,
for in this
get ready
life?
to hear about Isami next week,
Oh,
bitch.
oh, 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 oh. Oh, man. Well, as always, I cannot wait. As always, a blast. As always, watch all the matches. We told you our names this week, so you can find us and talk to us and ask us questions.
Yes, please let us know anything you need to know. We're here to answer your questions, pod related or pod unrelated. We can give advice. I'll do my best.
Yeah,
So,
ask us like our top 5 fast food chicken sandwiches or something. Totally game.
dude, I'd devour that question just
Yep.
like I would devour a good ass chicken sandwich.
All right, dude. Well, hey, another classic from the Classics Factory.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
we'll see you next week. We'll be talking about Asami, and your homework out there is to try to find his YouTube page.
Yeah,
Godspeed.
I'm removing it from his cage match as we speak. So good luck.
Well, now there's
Bye.
no good luck. Bye.